Let's talk about David Griffin. Introduces the Pelicans Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations. Griff, was regal up there, I think. He pointed out that he pointed out he hasn't held a jersey that often.
Yes, you can.
When he got there, he did talk about Anthony Davis, and he even brought up AD's agent by name. Who'd that be?
I believe it's Richard Paul.
Rich Paul and I were part of succeeding in the manner that they can understand, and they will understand when I say this. You are either all the way in or you are all the way out, and there is no in between. When the measure of success in your franchise is going to be championships and generational excellence, this is not something that we negotiate about. This is not something we make allowances for. This is something that you live every day of your life. And I have every reason to believe Anthony will want to do that.
I found this confusing only in that I think Anthony Davis has made it clear whether he wants to be all the way in or all the way out. He had a T-shirt the last game of the season. What did you think from this?
So I've known Rich Paul and David Griffin for a long time.
Yes.
I have seen them go through drama together. I've seen them come out on the other side of drama together. What I can say definitively about both of them is that they are businessmen. They will not react emotionally. They will do what is correct for the side that they are representing. And so while I think that it is responsible for a new GM or executive vice president to open up the door to recheck on whether Anthony Davis's thoughts have changed, I don't expect Rich Paul to change his position, nor do I expect David Griffin to do him any favors like, oh yeah, if that's where you want to go to the Lakers, Rich, I'll take care of your guy. They are all business. Even though they essentially were hand in hand winning a title together with LeBron in Cleveland, that does not mean it'll be any different. And I do think it's interesting. I don't have the exhaustive list in front of me, but I can never remember a GM at his introductory press conference name-checking an agent, other than his own agent, like he did today, which just shows you how entwined Clutch Sports and Rich Paul are with where the NBA is today.
Do you think there's any shot, Mac, that he could convince Anthony Davis to stay? Because apparently that's going to be his first conversation.
Well, he has 4 months until...
That's not actually true. He has until February, if you want to be 100%
technically,
accurate.
yeah, okay. He has to get on his job, like right now. I think he has a chance of keeping AD if he succeeds in the free agency. That's the only way I think you can salvage him from leaving.
I think there's an asterisk attached to every NBA conversation right now that is, unless we see what happens in the lottery. Because May 14th, I know that lottery is big every year, but this particular lottery where the odds have been stretched out and Zion is there, the lottery could change everything. I mean, the Pelicans have the seventh or eighth best chance. If they get the number 1 seed.
Number 1 pick.
Well, right, sorry, you're right. Number 1 pick. That could change everything.
Well, don't forget, the Pelicans hopped up in the lottery to get Anthony Davis.
That's right.
Charlotte had the best odds that year.
I may also point out what happens if the Lakers move up in the lottery and they can get the number 1 or 2 pick for Anthony Davis.
So if Pelicans get the number 1 pick, they're not keeping that. It doesn't make sense to have Anthony Davis and Zion on the same team to me. I think you trade it away.
No, I think I don't know.
I think you traded away.
Okay, what if they get the number 2 pick? What if you get Ja Morant alongside Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis? You say those are our big 3.
That's a different fit than Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
But you're still waiting until the lottery.
If you got the number 1 pick, would you keep Zion and trade AD, who you think is going to walk out the door in a year anyway?
I don't think that's a discussion. They definitely would keep Zion.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well, when you just said, would you trade the number 1 pick? I think it's the reverse.
Yeah.
So there you go. Obviously, you've got the financials here. He can make more money if he stays and re-signs with the Pelicans. That's what the Supermax was designed for, but I don't think that that's the determining factor. It's so funny, T-Mac, when the Supermax first came up, remember I asked you like 4 times in like a month-long period, how much money, Tracy, you tell us, for big NBA players is $30 million enough? Because for me, $3 million would change my life, but for an NBA player, would $30 million be enough to stay? And you called it right then, that summer. You said it is not enough to stay in a place where you don't want to be.
Right. But I look at it like this if I'm Anthony Davis. Okay, I'm an all-NBA player. I'm an MVP candidate. The team that will be possibly trading for me has to give up a lot of assets because of who I am, the value that I bring. I'm still going to a team that has to build around me and bring talent in. So I don't. It's a tough situation for him. For me, I'm signing at 235. I'm talking to David Griffin. We got to work together.
So you think there is a path for him to stay? I mean, if he went to a new team that did the Carmelo Anthony Denver thing and sort of plundered, you know, sort of the other team for getting him, he could leave in a year, though. Like, it's like Kawhi Leonard.
You got to give up so many pieces, valuable pieces to your team. Damn near your whole core group of your franchise to get this one player. You're back in the same situation, really.
Not necessarily, because if you get traded to a team that has cap space, but you'd still have to give up a beautiful prize. You'd either have to give up a great young player or maybe a top 3 pick in this draft.
Jason Tatum, sorry. Okay. So, I mean, that's the question, right?
Yes.
So the Celtics deal, you have to give up Tatum and...
There are beliefs out there. Some of the bidding prices that, like, for example, something no one's talking about, what if the Clippers sign Kawhi Leonard, okay? What if they get him? And then what if they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and they have Landry Shamet and they have a couple of first-round picks? That's a really compelling offer. Maybe they can do it, and maybe because he wants to play in L.A. Maybe Boston can offer Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and multiple first-round picks. There could be a bidding war here, but a lot of the bidding won't be established until we see where the draft assets go.
Can you imagine if after all the drama with the Lakers and Anthony Davis and the Pelicans this year, if somehow the Clippers ended up with him next season in that same building?